Here he is. Mr. Hansen sends his apologies. Lynn Peterson's being detained.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is that Lynn with an X?
탐정 사무실을 찾은 한 여자.
Perhaps it's a first name? Cavendish?
그녀는 상속녀 클레어 캐번디시.
How private exactly are your investigation?
말로는 그녀에게 원하는 것을 묻는데
What can I do for you, Mrs. Cavendish?
You are a detective. I'd like you to find someone for me.
클레어는 누군가를 찾고 있습니다.
Nico Peterson. He was my lover. He disappeared without saying goodbye.
그는 질문을 이어가며 피터슨이 어떤 사람인지를 유추해 나갑니다.
Was your lover the sort of man to disappear with you as a lover?
Normally they don't disappear easily.
No, I bet they don't. They stay around. Climb trellises, scenes in restaurants, lie down on the road, promise you anything. Oh, I know how it goes.
Do you lie down in the road, Mr. Marlowe?
Does Mr. Peterson get money from his profession, or does he just profess his profession?
You seem to assume that I was involved with someone.
사실 피터슨은 영화 내 소품을 담당하는 크게 별 볼 일 없는 사람이었죠.
It would be accurate. It would be very accurate indeed.
Did you conduct your affair with Mr. Peterson at the club?
We weren't meeting in the horsesheds, Mr. Marlowe.
What did he not show up for?
An assignation.
하지만 미래가 있던 날 사라져버린 피터슨.
I telephoned him a few times, no answer. And then I went to his house the following week. Told you I wanted a set of fresh eyes. And yours come highly recommended. Maybe you'll find out what I can't. You're very perceptive and sensitive, Mr. Marlowe. I imagine it gives you trouble.
다음날 말로는 피터슨의 집을 찾아오고 그곳에서 한 이웃을 만납니다.
He ain't home, Bo. What? He owe you dough or make time with your wife?
That's the way it is, huh?
Yeah, I'd say so. And good for him.
How long has he been gone?
Well, I guess I last seen him 7 weeks ago.
You see him leave?
No, I just noticed he was gone. That means there weren't any women banging on his front door or throwing a shoe at the house.
그의 말을 들어보면 피터슨 주변엔 여자가 많다는 것을 알 수 있었고
You a cop?
Sort of.
That private dick ain't no cop. Yeah, you're not the first one to come around asking about him.
그를 찾아온 또 다른 누군가가 있었다는 것을 알게 됩니다.
It was all gussied up. With a beaner and a suit and fancy necktie, it's still a beaner, right?
말로는 예전 자신이 근무했던 곳이자 오랜 동료가 있던 경찰서를 찾아갑니다.
Let's start at the beginning.
동료로부터 피터슨의 신상에 대해 듣게 되는데
Grifts, alienations of affection, parking tickets, drunk at a social gathering. I hope the lady friend looking for him looks good in black. He's killed.
그가 얼마 전 뺑소니를 당해 죽었다는 사실까지 알게 됩니다.
Deceased was struck by a vehicle, make unknown, driver unknown, on Bay Canyon Drive, just outside the Covada Club. Decedent had numerous injuries, including gross combined fracture, right side of the skull. Death be not proud.
코바타 클럽을 찾아온 말로
You looking for a gardening job?
Actually, no. A membership form.
Albert, we got a hedge hopper here.
하지만 정원사들로부터 둘러싸이게 되고
A ver,
Hey, buddy.
a ver.
Maybe there's a reason you're unpopular with policemen. Keep getting, I don't know, punched, locked up.
The lady wanted to find him.
Well, he'll wait until she comes by.
말로는 진실을 알려주기 위해 자신의 의뢰인 클레이를 찾아가는데
You startled me, Marlowe. Iced tea? You can have some of mine if you like.
No, thank you.
I can offer you anything, really.
Who the hell is this?
Sorry, I'm Philip Marlowe.
Hello, Marlowe. Cavendish.
Mr. Marlowe calls me Cavendish, Richard. I like it.
It's your name, darling.
I like it as a first name.
Glad I'm good for something, dear. Have you offered your very large friend a proper drink, darling?
She did, and I declined. Thank you.
So, Mr. Marlowe, what kind of business are you in?
Mr. Marlowe detects things.
And what are you detecting here, Marlowe?
My necklace.
하지만 그녀의 남편 리처드는 그에게 호의적이지 않았죠.
Marlowe,
Yes, Mr. Cavendish.
fuck yourself.
새끼 뭐야?
Then go for it. That's odd. He must think there's something between us.
So, tell me about you and Mr. Peterson, with no embellishments, please.
I met him at the Kobata Club for the first time. Thought he was handsome.
What was he hustling in Mexico?
I don't know. Nico has many schemes.
He's in the grave. Nico Peterson is dead.
He's pretending.
사실 그녀는 모든 것을 알고 있었습니다.
Oh, I know. He's dead and buried. But he got killed in front of the Karbata Club. Supposedly. Everybody says he was. But you see, the significant thing is that I saw him the other day.
I think we're finished, Mrs. Cavendish.
No. I just wanted you to start at the beginning. Begin at the beginning. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Where did you see him?
Back in Tijuana.
마지막으로 피터슨을 본 곳은 바로 티juana.
He called himself a collector. Most of all, collected junk. Pretend antiques.
말로는 피터슨의 유골이 있는 곳을 찾아가는데 그곳에서 애도를 하고 있는 한 여자를 보게 됩니다. 그런데 인기척이 느껴지자 도망을 치는 그녀. 결국 놓쳐버리고 맙니다.
Jesus, here it is.
말로는 또다시 조를 찾아가 도움을 요청합니다.
We pursued inquiries.
But how far?
Marlowe, if one wanted to find an absolute nest of entitled and connected tosspots who feel they can just drive away after running over another drunk's head, you go to the Corbata Club. So who's the mystery broad you're working for? His sister?
Tell me about his sister.
Maybe she identified him, maybe she didn't. You tell me about his sister. I got my own sister. You can stick his sister up your ass.
I'm working for a person who thinks that Nico Peterson is still alive. But it wasn't him who got smashed outside the Kobata Club.
그 얘기는 조에게 있어선 살인사건이 되는 것이었고
Theoretically, maybe.
What's your trouble, gents? Money or women?
Both, with the complication of thirst.
He's like the rest of us, Pat, except he can't take a hint.
What do you have?
Whiskey.
But that stiff, Peterson, for all intents and purposes, had Peterson's wallet in his pocket. Plus, he was identified at the scene, for all intents and purposes.
By who?
The manager of the club, Floyd Hansen, and by the Los Angeles County coroner, who's a member.
Make the call, Joe. I'll keep you out of it.
클럽으로 가서 직접 조사를 하기로 한 말로.
Mr. Hansen says it's most irregular, Mr. Marlowe.
클럽 매니저 플로이드 헨슨을 보기로 합니다.
Keep to the left, follow the signs that say reception.
Oh, thank you.
What can I do for you, Mr. Marlowe? Don't bother turning off the car. The gateman tells me you're a private investigator. Could that be so?
Yes. I used to work for the DA's office.
I've heard that.
I've heard that you've heard. I'm here about an accident that occurred.
말로는 그에게 피터슨에 대해 얘기를 하는데
What was that? A man was beaten to death. And then he was put in the road, and his head was run over by a tire. And to get him off the property.
Mr. Peterson was run down on the road, and the road is not on the property.
사유지가 아닌 도로에서 치였다며 선을 긋는 헨슨.
So, whose guest was Mr. Peterson the night he was killed?
하지만 서로 질문만 던지는데
We're at an impasse, Mr. Hanson. Who's yours?
I don't know what you want me to tell you. The police were thorough.
There's generally someone he's afraid of.
And who in this instance would any policeman be afraid of?
Well, if the hit-and-run driver were a very substantial or connected person, policemen might be afraid of the club in general. I mean, I am.
What would it take for you not to be afraid? What can I do?
There is the possibility that the dead man was not Nico Peterson.
His sister was shown his corpse the next day at the morgue and expressed no doubts.
Where could I find his sister?
Ask the police. Why do you raise the possibility that Peterson is alive when I so clearly saw him dead?
Someone may have seen him recently in the street.
And where was this, supposedly?
I can't tell you.
Goodbye, Mr. Marlowe.
클럽에서 나와 돌아가는 길 누군가 그를 부릅니다.
My. Try me at the cabana, Venice Beach.
Excuse me?
Try me at the cabana, Venice Beach. Ask for Lynn Peterson.
You're Nico's sister.
Sir?
Gentlemen?
그날 저녁 린 피터슨을 만나기 위해 클럽을 찾은 말로
Lynn, I'm not sure if it's an N or an E.
With an X if she works here.
There you go.
Robes in the cabinet and no monkey business.
Try not to.
하지만 그를 맞이하는 건 그녀가 아닌 험상궂은 사내들이었죠.
Here he is. Mr. Hanson sends his apologies. Lynn Peterson's being detained.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is that Lynn with an X? Fuck it. I'm getting too old for this.
피터슨의 집을 찾은 말로 결국 그녀를 만나게 되는데
You again?
It's all right. I'm a friend of Nico's, Philip Marlowe.
You're much too persistent.
I'm trying to find Nico.
He's dead.
Wait a minute.
그는 니코가 살아있을 가능성을 얘기하는데
What if I told you he might be alive?
I don't believe in fairy tales, mister. I saw his body. Nico was good with words.
You say you saw his body?
Yeah.
그런데 그때 멕시코 남자 2명이 나타납니다.
I know the lady. She's the punk sister, but who are you? You are a big one.
I'm thinking of renting the place.
¡No te van a dejar!
Where's Serena? Who's Serena? Who's Serena?
그들은 린을 협박하며 세레나를 찾습니다.
¿A dónde, mija? ¿A dónde? No. Vamos para allá.
Por favor.
No, para allá.
Please.
결국 말로는 의식을 잃게 되고
Boss wants a word.
깨어나 보니 덩치 큰 한 사람이 서 있었죠.
Cedric. Big guy. Get up.
Do you need to dress that? Cedric, your do-rag. mean my pocket square, Mr. Hendricks?
Someday, Cedric, I wish I'd left you where I found you. Give me the goddamn thing.
루 핸드릭스는 말루에게 니코에 대해 얘기해줍니다.
Nico worked for me. He would bring me items so hard to come by up here where the laws are so strict.
니코는 운반책 역할을 하며 중간에서 돈을 벌고 있었고 어느 순간 사라진 것이었습니다. 그는 니코를 찾아주는 대가로 $1,000를 제안하는데
But I'll pay you $1,000 just to sweeten the pot.
No. Cedric, next street on the right. Pull over, please.
그날 밤 말루를 찾아온 또 다른 경찰 버니.
Marlowe!
She's being looked for.
City, sheriffs, everybody. Not a peep out of the brass. Once a bulletin goes out, nobody can kill it. All car alert for Lynn Peterson.
바로 그때 말루를 찾아온 한 여자.
Who's the frail across the way?
Nothing frail about her, Bernie.
Good night, miss.
Good night, detective.
클레이는 그의 상처난 얼굴부터 확인하고
Who hurt you?
Mexicans looking for Peterson.
What were they looking for?
For God's sakes, you tell me.
집으로 들어갑니다.
Thank you.
Claire, you haven't once told me why you really want Nico. Your mother also wanted Nico.
클레이는 급기야 그를 유혹하기 시작하고
She always wants what I want. Or have.
Meaning Nico.
Maybe. Or maybe she's just afraid that you'll make love to me before you find out just how terrible I am.
That's a terrible idea.
Why?
Why? Because I'm in your employ. Because you're half my age. Because you're so beautiful, I lose my bearings.
What can we do then? We can't do that.
We can dance.
말루는 대신 그녀와 춤을 추기로 하죠.
Dance is good.
For now.
I have to be somewhere. A puzzle has many pieces. I don't know exactly what you're gonna find.
약속이 있었던 그녀는 차를 타고 어디론가 향하는데 말로는 곧바로 그녀를 미행합니다. 그녀가 도착한 곳은 주 영국 대사가 될 조지프 오라일리가 있는 곳이었죠.
Your mother just left.
What did she want?
Don't ask.
So it didn't go well.
She never knew me.
There goes Berniols.
Arthur ran the number plate of your visitor last night.
Yep.
버니는 말로에게 이 사건을 파헤치는 것이 얼마나 위험한지 알려줍니다.
Of all the people in Los Angeles who you do not fuck with, the new ambassador who opened the Pacific Studios with bootleg money and his mistress are top of the list.
그리고 린 피터슨의 행방을 알려주는데
LAPD found Lynn Peterson.
Where is she?
Encino. She'll wait till we get there.
Was she shot with my gun?
No. No, she wasn't shot.
Guys, you're not gonna like this.
Nobody lives forever. The blue car came in an hour ago. The two suspects from Tijuana got out.
That's the respray.
Yep. Get down that rat hole.
How?
Doesn't matter how.
용의자가 있는 장소를 확인하고 말로는 직접 그곳에 들어가기로 합니다. 과연 명탐정 말로는 거대한 조직에 맞서 무사히 사건을 해결할 수 있을까요? 오늘 소개해드린 영화 탐정 말로는 3월 21일 개봉을 앞둔 범죄 추리 영화입니다. 이 영화는 특히 리암 니슨의 100번째 영화로 전 세계에서 주목을 받고 있으며 리암 니슨뿐만 아니라 다이앤 크루거까지 그야말로 초호화 캐스팅으로 큰 기대를 받고 있습니다. 탐정계의 아이콘이자 셜록 홈즈가 인정한 유일한 라이버 말로의 이야기를 담은 이 작품은 두뇌 게임 중심의 기존 탐정물과는 다르게 행동파, 액션파의 모습을 그려내며 리암 니슨의 시원한 액션까지 엿볼 수 있습니다. 존재 자체가 장르인 리암 니슨의 100번째 영화 탐정 말로 추천드리며 뒷놀이만 물러갑니다. 지금까지 무리남이었습니다.